Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to Hack My Growth. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the power of personalization. Thanks so much for watching. If this is your first time, or maybe you've been watching a while but haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button below. We would love to have you as part of our community. So today we're going to be talking about marketing personalization and how we can leverage it to make our interactions online a little bit more personal and a lot more human. So there's a difference between segmentation and personalization. Now segmentation, you're marketing or targeting groups of people based on similar behaviors. So maybe you're breaking it down into demographics or geographics, or maybe a behavior that they've taken before, or maybe a cultural or psychographic. But what you're doing is you're grouping people based on predefined or set values that somehow link them together. Now this can be very helpful, and segmentation is extremely helpful when you're doing marketing, because you want to make sure that your message is meeting the right context. And when you're doing mass communication or communication to a lot of people, you need to make sure that you have the right context. And that's really where segmentation comes in. But what we have the power to do today is actually personalize our message unlike ever before. Now personalized marketing is also known as one-to-one marketing. And here, instead of segmentation, where we take a group of people who have commonalities and group them together, marketing personalization brings it down to an individual level. So we're actually able to give somebody a specific message based on their unique needs and their unique personality and the things that they have going on in their life. So this is individualized, it's much more personal, and allows us to be a lot more human using technologies. Now, personalization has been around for a while. I mean, this is where you get an email from somebody who says, "Hey, Joe, it's nice to see you," but you don't really know this guy, but he's gotten your email somehow, and they're able to insert some tokens into a message in order to make it a little bit more personal. So that's one area that personalization has been used for quite a while. And if you see some of the statistics around it, that when you use personalization in marketing emails or sales emails, you have a 6 times greater transactional rate. So people who don't use it, they're really missing out because they're not being more personal in their emails. Another tip in emails, and I see this a lot, especially in personalized emails, don't over-personalize. Now you can bring in too much information into that email or personalize it too much where it kind of seems creepy. So you've got to make sure that you don't use all the data you have in order to make this email that's like, "Hey man, I don't really know you that well." So make sure that you use it smart, but use it in a way that allows them to know that, hey, I know you're a person with unique needs and problems and challenges, and I want to have a conversation with you. Now, 74% of website visitors get frustrated when they see content that appears to have no impact on what they're looking for. Now, as you see over here, this is a little rough sketch of a pop-up, right? And maybe you've experienced a pop-up or a slide down or a bar that comes out that's kind of telling you a little bit more about the site, or maybe somebody's pushing a new product or service that they have. Now, pop-ups actually work. They're extremely valuable when they add value. Now, that's the key. Is this piece of content going to add value? And a lot of times we use pop-ups from a segmented sort of mind. So we say this group of people are going to see this specific pop-up. Now that may work in some cases, but most of the time what happens is these people inside of these segmented categories, they don't really have everything the same. They just kind of match in one area. So you can show them this, they get frustrated, annoyed, and they leave your site. So what we actually can do is use personalization to present pop-ups or present extra information or related articles based on a unique person's individual journey. Now you can add a lot of value, specific value that's really personalized to them, and that's where you see these pop-ups and these slide-out bars and the exit banners work really, really well. Now, when you use personalization, it's also been recorded that on average there's about a 19% uplift in sales. This is because you're allowed, you're able to kind of hone in that message around people and give them what they really need and what they want. Now, we've been doing personalization for a number of years. I really fell in love with it because one of our goals as an agency is to be more personal in our marketing and to help leverage the internet and tools that are available to us on the internet to present a more human experience, a more, just a connected experience with people. So one of the tools that we've been using is a tool called Trend Demon, and it's a really great tool, and I'll put a link to it in the description. What Trend Demon allows us to do is scan all of our content, index all of our content, and then review how each customer is going through the journey as they're looking at pieces of content, they're downloading articles on our site or ebooks or other offers that we have. And then when that person comes back, we've got a record of what they've done. And now we can serve up them related content based on their own customer journey. So we can actually figure out what they want as an individual and then deliver on them this content all along the journey. And maybe sometimes that leads to a sale, but other times it just leads to somebody being connected, because a large part of our database isn't necessarily people we're selling marketing services to, but we're training and we're teaching and we're educating and we're building that relationship with. That's a core part of what we do. And Trend Demon allows us to help individualize the journey. If you've spent any time on our site, maybe you've seen an exit banner, or at the end of a blog post you've seen related articles, and you notice that those articles are either related to what you're reading or have also been connected to things that you've looked at in the past on our site. Because of that, we're able to give you a little bit more of a contextual experience that's based on your specific needs. Not everybody's going to have the same experience on our site, and that's really, really encouraging to me, because we're allowed to put ourselves in a kind of a different light. Now, how do we do this? Well, marketing automation tools help. We actually sync Trend Demon up with HubSpot, and it allows us to share some of that information in between both the marketing automation side as well as the CRM side. And the people who are in our customer database are going to see different than if somebody's at an SQL level or an MQL level or just a lead level. And by able to syncing that information, we're able to present to them more contextually appropriate content they want to see and interact with. We can also get traffic from UTM sources. So maybe we have a campaign out there and we've got a specific universal tracking code that we've created for that campaign. Now we can kind of start to segment. That's the early part of personalization, is actually segmentation, and push people to a certain traffic source, collect some data on the interaction there, and then help to further engage with them in their journey in a more personalized way. And we also use cookie info. As we all know, cookie tracking is what allows Google Analytics, other analytics tracking sites to work. And once we place that cookie into somebody's browser, we can start to collect data on how they interact with us, which again is all for the purpose of serving them valuable content that's going to lead towards a better connection, which in the long run is going to lead to more sales. It's going to lead to a more higher reputation as a company. So this is kind of an overview of the power of personalization. The key is to get going, because you need data in order for personalization to work. If you don't have data, it's not going to work really well, because it's not going to have enough to feed the algorithm to say, hey, this person should get this or that or this. So make sure that you get started. That's the first step. Start to segment your audience and then move towards personalization, where you can deliver contextually appropriate content and really make your digital marketing way more human. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you've got any questions, please comment below. We would love to continue to engage with you in this conversation. And until next time, happy marketing.
Hack my